What's next? I want to talk about something, the solution to all of life's problems, how to be in the best mindset possible, in the simplest way possible. And I want to use it without using any spiritualism, no religion, nothing woogie woogie, cut and dry, something that even an atheist, someone who doesn't believe in any of the spiritual stuff at all would accept. And there's only two rules. One rule is compassionately listen to the voices within. Compassionately listen means that you will, as the voices in your head talk, because they're always talking, when you're in quiet, when you're just quietly thinking to yourself, sitting quietly, the voices will say all kinds of things. Some crazy, some normal, some insightful, some terrible. But if you listen to them compassionately with no judgment, which means the voices say whatever they want to say, and you just listen. Don't need to accept it. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to argue. You don't need examples. You don't need to prove that they're wrong. You just listen. And then when the voices, even the most nastiest voice, says something that might help you, and I'm not even saying it will definitely help you, it might help you improve yourself. It might help better yourself. If it says 95 terrible things and one good thing, you stop and you thank that voice for its insight. And you say exactly what helped you or what you appreciated in that voice. And then you move on. Because even the most nasty voice will become better only because the voices deep down in your head are subconscious, that are screaming, and they just want to talk to you. They just want to be heard. They want attention. And when you give it positive attention, even the nasty voices, they want the attention, so they're going to better themselves. And then, of course, the better voices, whenever they say something insightful, you thank them and you move on. But it's all non-judgmental. It's all just listening compassionately to the voices inside. And then from there, if you can listen to the most nasty voices inside your own head, the nasty voices of everyone else, as people outside you, your family and your friends and your enemies, as they say terrible things to you, you can easily accept them, because usually the people who say the terrible things to you outside of you are echoing something that you hear deep down inside yourself. And it hurts. Because having someone who's really not that important to you say something, it doesn't matter, and you would ignore it. But when it resonates or when it echoes something deep down inside, something you should trust, your best friend is deep within inside you. And when your best friend betrays you, it hurts. When the person inside you betrays you, it hurts. But all it is these voices are primitive, and they just want to be heard. So compassionately listening to the inner voices, because we all need someone who will compassionately listen to us. That's why we go to therapists, psychologists, because they listen to everything we have to say, and they really don't judge us. They can't judge us. It's their job to listen to us. So if you have yourself listening to your own voices, and you're accepting them and not judging them and just listening, because we all just want to be listened to. I think I covered that multiple times. It's very important. It has to be compassionate, has to be non-judgmental, and no arguments, no defenses. It's just listening. The second one is a little more tough to describe, because you always go to assumptions of narcissism, but your own happiness must be taken above everyone else. And it's like, whoa. But this rule has an exception. Your own happiness above everyone else, as long as it doesn't impact or harm anyone else. And that's pretty easy in of itself, because your happiness is pretty easy to maintain, and not harming anyone else should be part of it. But unfortunately, narcissists don't see it that way, because a narcissist will put their happiness with the extra thing of ensuring they harm everyone else, because a narcissist isn't happy unless they are harming someone else. So if you are truly a good person and you make sure your happiness above everyone else, along with not harming anyone else, and that includes yourself, because I mean, you might say that, you know, I'm eating all this food, I'm not hurting anyone else. You know, I'm eating this food that may be bad for me, but I'm not hurting anyone else. But unfortunately, you are harming yourself, because deep down inside, you know, these unhealthy foods, although they taste good and make you feel happy now, they impact your health later. And they also will impact others at the same time, because they're going to have to, you know, see you unhealthy. But that's not me to judge. That's deep down within yourself. That was only one example. I mean, if you eat unhealthy foods but you're a relatively healthy person, or you're working on it, being healthy, and occasionally you make a mistake, you indulge. It's not a mistake. Occasionally you indulge by eating unhealthy foods. Well, that's irrelevant, because you're doing you have to take the whole group. And then most of the time you're doing the healthy thing. Once in a while you give yourself a treat. That's fine. You know, as long as you are generally working on yourself, bettering yourself, and not impacting anyone around you, that is happiness. And there might be an argument, well, what if I don't know I hurt anyone else? That's fine, because it's not important. Because once you realize you hurt someone else, at that point you address it. But you don't think of, oh, what if this hurts someone else? It doesn't matter, because what ifs are not where we live. We live in the now. We live in what we do right now. And we're not going to extrapolate what we do, how it will impact the future, unless we have a concrete evidence. And that's common sense. So use your common sense. Keep your own best counsel. Listen to the voices inside, compassionately, non-judgment. And also, treat yourself well. Keep your happiness above everyone else without harming anyone else. Because when you are helping yourself, when you are at your best self, you can effectively and efficiently help everyone around you. If you're not, if you're sacrificing yourself for others, you're not doing a good job. You're actually doing a terrible job, because you're subconsciously hurting them, because you're resenting them. Oh, I'm sacrificing myself. Look what kind of good things I've done. And if you get happiness from sacrificing yourself, you're just gaining points. You're just gaining these sick points, and you got to stop. You got to be your own best friend. You can't use the guide of everyone outside you to indicate where you are. The only person you're competing against is yourself. And it's not the future self or the past self, it's the now self. So you're always, creating a new ruler, a new meter, a new metrics. And I guess that, and also meditation. Another thing is, when you listen to yourself compassionately, that's involved with meditation. And some people say they have trouble meditating. But that's because they follow someone else's rules. When you meditate, you make the rules. And with that, you just got to learn to listen to yourself and be compassionate with yourself. And as the voices talk, you don't engage them. And if you do happen to engage them, you stop and you just listen. All meditation is, it's involved with listening to the voices within. And occasionally, when you're lucky, the voices have nothing to say because they've been totally listened to. And that's when you have a clear head. And that's what the goal of meditation is. No voices. And the reason why there are no voices, because all the voices have been heard. The negative voices, the positive voices, the medium voices, the history voices. All the voices have nothing to say because you've compassionately listened to them. And that's the goal of meditation. And I have reached it once in a while, but honestly, every day I go through these things and I beat myself up on him, and then in meditation I forgive myself. Once you forgive yourself, there's nothing more else to say about it. I think I meandered or talked a lot about something, but I think I got my point across that just listen to your own voices with compassion and keeping your happiness above everyone else without harming anyone else. That's it. Simple as that. No woogie woogie, no psychic stuff, no spiritualism. Just cut and dry. Just be good to yourself. And with that, you can be good to everyone around you. What's next?